It's 4:54. I have to be at coffee with a friend by 6. And I'm gonna film 2 videos. It is my intention to make this video 12 minutes. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominique Davis, also known... Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominique Davis, also known as Brown and Bindi, and on this channel we practice flexibility of the mind, the body, and the spirit. I hope that you are doing well today. I'm doing particularly great. I'm just happy that I can bring you guys this video. Now, I know that it's gonna sound kind of weird, but weird is the way to get what you want. Like, when have you ever had to do anything normal in order to change your life, right? Today we are going to talk about how to cosplay your desired personality in a way that allows you to step into the character without resistance. If you practice the law of assumption, then you're very familiar with the term act as if. So what act as if means is to embody the idea of who you think you'd have to be in order to maintain your manifestation. I think that with the law of assumption, it's very important to understand that we are talking about perception. What is your perception of the person that you would be? And allow that perception to be what it is. It doesn't have to be perfect. But by experiencing what your perception is, you're able to learn about what you think and then expand your understanding of who that person would have to be. You know, if every person on the planet were able to just act as if they already had what they desired, then everyone would be able to manifest within like 0.3 seconds. But the thing is, resistance comes up, and that's what stops a lot of people from gravitating to the law of assumption or even trusting the law of assumption. I think that when we embody the personalities of for the sake of this video, let's just say our desired personalities. Also, this is a good place to say that if you like this video, if you're into the subject matter, there is a blog that will help you dive a little bit deeper if you want to know more. But yes, back to desired personalities. When a lot of us jump into these desired personalities, you know, it could be really exciting at first to imagine that we are the person who is in the perfect relationship, who has the perfect job, who lives in the perfect place for ourselves. You know, it's really nice to imagine that when you're doing it for like 2 minutes. But then when the work comes, when it's time to hold that vibration of the person who already has what you're looking to attract, when it comes to holding that vibration, that's when the resistance comes up, because you start to notice the misalignment between your current personality versus your desired personality. That's because resistance comes from the ego. The resistance comes from your identity. Really quick explanation of the ego. The ego was created when you were a child and you observed the world. Your identity is all of your experiences, everything you've observed, and how you believe you fit into all of your experiences and everything you observe. It's how you see yourself, it's how you understand yourself, and it's how you understand your place in the world. So that being said, when it comes to identity shifting, reality shifting, and putting on this costume, a lot of time that costume requires different beliefs than the current beliefs that you may have. And because we don't have intellectual conversations about this a lot, so many of us can just put down the practice because we feel the resistance and say, oh, this isn't going to work for me. But the law of assumption is real and it is powerful stuff. But I believe that when you go into it using the law of assumption and the law of attraction in tandem in order to recognize your blocks and heal so that you can be the most fulfilled person that you can be spiritually, I believe that the law of assumption really helps with that spiritual aspect of the equation, because you have to face certain parts of yourself. When you think about putting on your desired personality as a costume, that gives you permission to bypass the resistance that you may have. For example, a person who may want to imagine that they have a dream relationship, that they're in the perfect romantic relationship. They may say, okay, I'm going to put on the costume and be a person who's in the perfect romantic relationship. So they're sitting and they're thinking, oh, okay, so I'm gonna have someone to go home to tonight, and it raises their vibration, and they think, oh my gosh, I don't have to make plans this weekend because I have a partner. I can just do stuff with my partner, and then their vibration goes up. And then that person may think, let's say that they're a little short on cash, right? So they start to think, God, if I had a partner, it would be so much easier to pay all my bills. So now we've shifted out of the higher vibrational, aspirational, what I want my life to look like, and now we're shifting back into what do I lack? What don't I have? How can I notice the lack of what I'm trying to manifest? We're shifting back into that place. When we put our desired personality on as a costume, we give ourselves permission when that thought comes up, when we say, okay, I have to pay a bill and I don't have enough money for it, we give ourselves permission to say, I'm wearing a costume right now. I can't. This is not a part of the costume. Now, I know that this is going to sound a little bit like spiritual bypassing, and we're going to touch on that in a second. I promise that it's not. All this to say that you can think about this as cosplaying your desired personality, but you can also think of this as playing a role, like being an actor and being given a role to play and staying in character. I don't know if you knew this, but I went to school for theater, so that's how I had the idea for this video. So spiritual bypassing is the act of clinging on to positive high vibrational thoughts when those positive high vibrational thoughts do not align with your current belief system. Skipping all the healing you have to do to genuinely evolve to the point where the higher vibrational thoughts are actually yours. It's trying to cheat and skip all the healing and just saying, I'm happy, I'm happy, everything's great. You know? So I understand how this exercise can sound like spiritual bypassing, so this is important. I really hope you hear me. When we cosplay our desired personality, it's very important that we go into it with the intention of only doing it for a couple hours, maybe over the course of 3 or 4 days, doing it for a couple hours over the course of 3 or 4 days, having complete awareness while we're cosplaying, while we're in character, of the differences between the belief system required of the role that we're playing versus the current personality that we have. That is the whole purpose. The purpose is not to skip the steps and press fast forward on the journey. The purpose is to kind of do an experiment with yourself and to see exactly where you are versus where you want to be. Okay, so now let's talk about creating your role. In the blog post, we have an example character, and her name is Nina. Nina wants to have a successful nonprofit. She's currently running a nonprofit for young women who do not have female role models in their life. And she wants to grow her nonprofit so that she can serve more young women. Nina is thinking about all the different ways that she can bring exposure to her nonprofit, and she settles on the idea that she wants to become a wellness influencer. This isn't the video to talk about how I feel about the word influencer. Let's just, you know what the word means. Let's stay in a happy place. So she watched this video and she said, okay, I'm gonna cosplay the role of a successful social media influencer. God, say that 5 times fast. I am going to cosplay the role of a successful social media influencer. And you know, who do I have to be? Who is this person that I'm about to pretend to be? So Nina thinks about the different personality qualities that she would have to have, and she determines that she would have to be creative, social, and consistent. Therefore, she imagines herself as a successful social media influencer who is creative, social, and consistent. So before you click off this video and say, okay, I'm just gonna be that person, I'm that person, I'm the person now. Before you do that, take some time, maybe script, maybe journal. Write out the qualities that you would have to have. What are the qualities of your desired personality? See them on paper, because your desired personality is not who you are right now with a different attitude. That person that you want to be has either different personality traits or personality traits that you already have, but more developed. So be honest with yourself and ask yourself, what qualities does this costume, does this role require? Okay, we're getting to the manifesting part. We're getting to the reality shifting part. Here we go. Notice as you wear your costume, notice what qualities come easily to you, right? And then also notice what qualities you struggle with. Back to the blog post, Nina, she realized that she really enjoyed the creative aspect of being a social media influencer. She loved the idea of creating content and being able to express herself. She is not a very social person, but she doesn't hate people by any means. So she realizes that she's kind of on the fence with people, and in order to become a successful social media influencer, she would have to transform into somewhat of a social butterfly. She would have to practice empathy and practice compassion and hold more space in her heart for relationships with others if she expects to realistically have a community that cares about her so that she can also care about them. What Nina struggled with most was the consistency factor. When she thinks about making content every single day, it makes her nervous. It brings her up dread. She realizes that she has a habit of starting projects and then abandoning them when they start to become difficult. Nina then realizes that that is her block, her belief that she cannot be consistent. So she decides to buy a book on social media and read 10 pages a day. When you start to recognize the parts of your personality that do not align with your costume, that does not mean that you automatically have to force that personality trait. Instead, think of different ways that you can nurture that personality trait. Nina doesn't start a social media account and start posting and put pressure on herself to post every single day, even though she knows that's something she will struggle with. Instead, she buys a book and she commits to reading 10 pages a day. Because in the blog post I said she's not very consistent, but she always keeps her word. So if she makes a promise to herself to read 10 pages a day, that's going to grow her consistency practice in itself. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say about this. I think you get the point. I hope you do. If you don't, you can always ask questions. Okay, so if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up so other people on the tube of you know that it's valuable. Also, if you would like me to expand on anything that I've talked about today, let me know down in the comment box. Last but not least, please make sure that you are subscribed and that you click that notification bell so that you can be notified when I come out with new videos and make new uploads. That is all I have for today. I love you with all my heart and all my soul. You know it. I will see you next time. Bye.